Chelsea, this week I have an interesting one that is going to probably be a little... Sorry, there is a dog right outside my door that is playing with his ball.
Whose dog is it?
Today I have news about inflation and what has been causing it.
I don't want to hear it.
Oh,
Can
okay.
we just skip out on this episode?
Well, I think this one's an important one. It at least gives you an idea of what's causing it.
Okay.
Because if you ask some people, they'll say, my view has been it's profit seeking. That's basically saying they're allowed to take more profits from us. And they're just blaming inflation, despite the fact that they're making record profits, which doesn't make sense if you're just raising the rates due to what the demand is.
Well, I think just given the situation in our country right now in Canada, a lot of people wouldn't think about it. They'd just blame our prime minister.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
We've talked about shrinkflation. We've talked about record profits.
Yeah.
This is one I haven't really considered, despite the fact that we kind of know it true.
Okay.
But this is right from the FTC's website.
Who's that?
This is the Federal Trade Commission
Okay.
in the US,
important?
and they released an article on May 2nd of 2024, which says FTC order bans former Pioneer CEO from Exxon board seat in Exxon Pioneer deal. The Federal Trade Commission took action to resolve antitrust concerns surrounding ExxonMobil Corporation's $64.5 billion acquisition of oil producer Pioneer Natural Resources by approving a consent order that prevents founder and former Pioneer CEO Scott Sheffield from gaining a seat on Exxon's board of directors or serving in an advisory capacity at Exxon once it acquires Pioneer. The proposed consent order seeks to prevent Pioneer's Sheffield from engaging in collusive activity that would potentially raise oil prices, leading American consumers and businesses to pay higher prices for gasoline, diesel fuel, heating oil, and jet fuel. The FTC alleges in a complaint that Sheffield has, through public statements and private communications, attempted to collude with the representatives of the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, and a related cartel of other oil-producing countries known as OPEC Plus, to reduce the output of oil and gas, which would result in Americans paying higher prices at the pump to inflate profits for his company. Quote, Mr. Sheffield's past conduct makes it crystal clear that he should be nowhere near Exxon's boardroom. American consumers shouldn't pay unfair prices at the pump simply to pad a corporate executive's pocketbook, said Kyle Mock, Deputy Director of the FTC's Bureau of Competition. To continue the quote, the FTC will remain vigilant in its enforcement efforts to protect competition in these vital markets, end quote. Through public statement, text messages, in-person meetings, WhatsApp conversations, and other communications while at Pioneer, Sheffield sought to align oil production across the Permian Basin in West Texas and New Mexico with OPEC+. Sheffield, for example, exchanged hundreds of text messages with OPEC representatives and officials discussing crude oil market dynamics, pricing, and output. In discussing his efforts to coordinate with Texas producers under a production cut mandate by the Railroad Commission of Texas, Sheffield said, quote, if Texas leads the way, maybe we can get OPEC to cut production. Maybe Saudi Arabia and Russia will follow. That was our plan. I was using the tactics of OPEC Plus to get a bigger OPEC Plus done. There's a bit more, I should probably keep going. The FTC's proposed consent order would prohibit Exxon from nominating, designating, or appointing Sheffield to the Exxon board. The commission vote to accept the consent agreement and place the complaint and order on the record of public comment was 3-2. The FTC will publish the consent agreement package in the Federal Register shortly. Instructions for filing comments appear to be published. Notice, that's probably far enough. And the important thing here, Chelsea, is that this guy was clearly colluding with OPEC, who basically sets the price of oil worldwide. He wanted to get the price of oil higher so he just reap better profits, which has impacted literally everything from your actual cost of gas in your car to anything that needs to be shipped, which is everything, because that cost of oil is included in that price. So all prices have gone up because this particular individual was colluding with OPEC to raise the price of oil in North America.
So that he, the probably billionaire already, could have more money.
Yeah, and you know what? Let's do a quick little background on Mr. Sheffield here. He has a net worth of $1.3 billion. Forbes has an article on him called The Oil Patch Prince, A Great Tale of West Texas. Unfortunately, I didn't think of doing this beforehand, but I'm sure he has a good lobbying arm and a lot of investment in right-wing media, as most oil billionaires do. So I'm just going to speculate on that. I don't actually have confirmation on that. But like the Daily Wire was investment money from that, or for that, which is a huge right-wing media corporation, came from fracking billionaires.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, that's just another one of those. Inflation is not because we put money in everybody's pockets to help them through COVID. It's because billionaires are trying to get richer. It's as simple as that.
Well, maybe his house is on a beach where the sand dune just gave way.
Actually,
And
Chelsea,
he's facing...
can I quickly make this a two-part Fringey Mini then?
Yeah.
Because I have a tie-in to that I was torn on which one I was gonna do.
Maybe what I'm getting to is that maybe he really needs the money, because
He probably really needs the money.
And
Your cost of living just always meets your income.
Yeah. And his sand dune just washed out, and he's facing a worthless property, so he probably needs the money.
Yeah, and Chelsea,
Never mind all the people that'll never see that amount of money in their
I just need to
life.
make sure you're not worried about these wealthy waterfront owners, because the government does have their back. Salisbury leaders announced a $6 million plan to fight catastrophic beach erosion.
They're getting bailed out.
Yeah, this comes from Boston.com by Emily Spatz on April 30th, 2024. State Senator Bruce Tarr said at a press conference Monday that Salisbury Beach now faces an increased threat of severe overwash and erosion, proposing a $6 million two-phase plan to stop further damage, according to a local report.
What are they gonna do?
Tarr, environmental scientist and consultant for Salisbury Tom Hughes, and Salisbury Town manager Neil Harrington warned of severe overwash risk on the beach, calling it a new threat for residents along the waterfront. Overwash occurs when waves exceed the height of dunes during coastal storms, transporting the sand and other sediment inland. The damage will be exponentially worse than what we've seen so far, Tarr said. This area of the beach is extremely vulnerable and it compels our action. Not because they're rich, but because it's extremely vulnerable. That's a different thing.
Oh, no, it would never be because they're rich. It's not like money makes the world go around.
Plan to fix erosion. The first phase of Hughes and Tarr's proposal would see the restoration of sand dunes to an elevation of 17 feet above sea level, and the Daily News reported, and phase 2 would bring the dune elevation up to 19 feet, extending the volume further towards the water. The project would cost $6 million. Yeah, you gotta love that. The problem was there wasn't enough sand, so they're just going to put $6 million worth of sand.
No, I do love that. I love that they're putting $6 million into this. I'm sure the homeless people, the problem of...
Well, I'm sure it's a homeless beach, in fact, that has washed away, and that's why they've moved into the cities, because they don't have their homeless beach to relax on anymore.
Yeah. Wow. This is incredible. Thank God, is what I have to say.
Yeah, I don't think I need to go any further into that article, and we will give you an update when the sand dune washes away, I should say.
Wow, we just got hit with a lot of information that we need to digest over the next, 48 hours.
Yeah, I mean, slightly less because we did a double header, so it's probably like 47 hours and 49 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
So don't do the math. It's pretty complicated. Let the phone do it. We'll see you on Friday.
I will not be doing it. Goodbye.